Akira Toriyama, better known as the creator of Dragon Ball, is not shy in saying Star Wars is one of his favorite series. And because of this, there are many ideas from the Star Wars universe that are present in the Dragon Ball universe. So with that said, I will give you 7 Star Wars ideas in the Dragon Ball universe, which will include both Easter eggs and themes. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. So let's start off by referencing the thumbnail of this video. In the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, Goku faced a man better known as a celebrity by the name of Pomput in the first round. However, when you look at Pomput's background as a movie star, you can actually see that he is holding a beam-like sword that bears a very strong resemblance to a lightsaber. Coming in at number 2 is Bulma's repair room. When Goku went to Bulma's house to repair his dragon radar in an episode called Master Thief Husky, if you look carefully at Bulma's room, there are 3 Easter eggs. The first is this object on the ground that bears a very strong resemblance to R2-D2. The second egg is the fact that there is a plane-like object that looks very similar to the Imperial shuttle. And the third reference is a flying car that looks like Luke's land speeder. I should point out that the manga makes this look significantly clearer than the actual anime did. Moving on to number 3, if you look at the 1996 movie called Path to Power, you will notice that there is a chase scene that bears a very strong resemblance to the speed biker chase scene that took place on Endor in Return of the Jedi. Jumping to number 4, we can see that Dragon Ball and Star Wars both use the concept of a healing tank throughout the series. We see this in the Rejuvenation Chamber in Dragon Ball Z that helped heal both Goku and Vegeta. We also see this in The Empire Strikes Back, where we see Luke healing in a healing tank as well. As far as number 5 goes, as you can see, Jabba the Hutt's pet Rancor bears a very strong resemblance to Yakon from Dragon Ball Z. Both are beasts that feast in the dark and fight invaders at their master's request. Firing away at number 6, we have a direct reference in Dragon Ball GT. Here we can see that Trunks is turned into metal from General Rildo's blast in an attempt to save Pan. This is very similar to Han Solo's hibernation with the carbon freeze in The Empire Strikes Back. And for our 7th and final reference, we get a reference in Dragon Ball GT in which there was a trash compactor that was closing in on Pan and company. This is very similar to episode 4 of Star Wars in which Luke and company were being trapped as well. So now that we have those 7 direct ideas out of the way, let's talk about something more interpretive for a bonus theme. Trunks' story illustrates a concept very similar to Star Wars. In it, Trunks and Gohan are the descendants of a powerful race, similar to how Leia and Luke are the descendants of a powerful Jedi in Darth Vader. It is also up to those 2 individuals to figure out how to save the world, like Luke and Leia are supposed to save the galaxy in Star Wars. I should also point out that Luke is very similar to Trunks in the sense that they both have conflicted fathers. Interestingly enough, the scene in episode 6 where the Emperor nearly killed Luke and Vader jumped in to help is very similar to how Vegeta jumped in to fight Cell after Trunks was killed. Ultimately, we see Vegeta help Gohan defeat Cell, which ultimately redeems his character, similar to Darth Vader in Star Wars. Also, another ongoing theme in Dragon Ball is the concept of Ki, very similar to that of the Force. In Star Wars, Yoda points out that the Force can give you abilities far beyond what you can do physically. This is similar to Dragon Ball in the sense that an attack that requires Ki can do way more damage than an attack that is just a punch or a kick. Another general theme is the concept of language. Similar to Star Wars and other media, Dragon Ball has a world in which aliens from all across the universe are completely capable of speaking with residents of another planet. Furthermore, it is also interesting to point out the concept of the androids and the artificial humans in Dragon Ball. They have a correlation to the droids and the clone troops in the Star Wars universe. Both series used modified and artificial entities to do the bulk of the fighting. Also, it is very important to note that both Anakin and Luke have very strong similarities to that of Gohan. The obvious point is the fact that the story geared their roles up as the chosen one with hidden power. In Anakin's case, he was said to bring balance to the Force. In Luke's case, he and Leia were born with an abnormal affinity to the Force. Similar to Gohan, we also see in Anakin's fight with Count Dooku or the Sand People that his anger brings out his true power. We also see this with Luke's fight against Vader in Return of the Jedi as well. And last but not least, The most prevalent theme in Dragon Ball, similar to Star Wars, is the fact that Order 66 worked very similar to Frieza destroying Planet Vegeta. For those of you who don't know, Order 66 is when Emperor Sidious made an order to exterminate the Jedi in Episode 3 to prevent the Jedi from getting in his way. In addition, similar to Princess Leia, Vegeta was unaware of what really happened to Planet Vegeta, similar to Leia being completely unaware of who Darth Vader actually was. Also, for Trunks' side of the story, Trunks represented Hope in Dragon Ball Z, very similar to how Luke represented Hope in Star Wars Episode 4. So guys, that has been my video for today. Overall, I would like to thank Uther for providing many of the references used in this video, so a link to his channel will be in the description. So with everything else said, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys. And for our hashtag of the day, I have #StarBalls.